Okay. So Stuart Wilde says, okay, okay, Kathy, you go ahead and just show them how to cure things and take as long as you need. And, like, it doesn't take that long, like 15 minutes later. There's, let's say, 500 people in the workshop, and, 486 of them raise their hands that they got a signal. And she says, who feels different? And 374 of them stand up, and then they share about how they feel and so on. And that's what she's gotten. Everybody sits down, and she says to them, okay, I am looking, people cure HIV with this. People kill viruses with what you just learned. You guys never have to get the flu again. You know now that you do not have to. Whether you continue with this is up to you. That is in your bailiwick. I can't force you to, but I can tell you that if you do, I haven't had the flu in years. Neither has my son. So you won't get cancer. You will have immunity. This is what this gives you. We can AIDS-proof Africa with this. We can end the HIV epidemic in Africa. I am looking for the person. There's going to be a person who comes along who does that. If you are this person or think you know the person, here I am. Get me on the phone with the person or come over and show yourself, whatever. I'm here, And that's it. Thank you. That will be today's lesson. And she sits down. What would happen? Probably nothing. And the question is why? Because of those 500 people, every single one of them would either think, they would think that they're not the person and that they don't know the person. That's it, End of story. Probably there'd be a bunch of people who continued and, cured things. Kathy would have helped people. Now, you can see the difference here between helping people and ending the epidemic of HIV. It's very clear. Kathy has helped a bunch of people. So have Ashley and Bono. In their case, at their benefit, they don't even ask, are you the person? They just hand this to them and they say, we are only asking one thing. Here are the things they say to the people. We only ask one thing. Stop hosting. Don't host anything. Kathy could ask this for that matter, and so could Kiev at the benefit. If she had shown everybody how to cure things, she could say, there is one thing I want you to give me in return. Now, I've given you this enormous gift. The thing I want you to give me is don't be sick anymore. Because when you're sick, you affect me. You affect the quality of my life and of this world. So stop it. Now you don't have to be sick anymore. Now it's up to you to actually take responsibility for that. So stop it. Don't host disease. Don't pass it on. Don't have anybody in this world who's sick because you were. Be that responsible. I ask that of you. And this is what they can ask. And other than that, they should be saying, don't change anything. Don't throw your meds in the toilet till we all agree it's time to do that. I'm going to get to the whole thing about what does the actual end of the epidemic look like? What does the end of the epidemic look like in Africa? I'm going to give you the definition of it, okay? This is something you need to know if you're interested in ending the epidemic. And if you're not, why are you watching this movie? You know what? I mean, Terminator 3 is still out there unwatched. Go do something more interesting. But if you're interested in ending the epidemic, I will define what the end of the epidemic looks like. Because it doesn't look like everybody throwing their meds in the toilet right away. One thing I'll tell you. See, it can be the deuce to get back on them when you find out you're still hosting HIV after you get your negative medical test. And if you remember what I said at the beginning of Lesson 1, this website, in case you have no idea what I've been talking about and you don't know that this is the website where you see Lesson 1 and the tally and all the other things. Oh yeah, we've helped a lot of people. I mean, we're up to like 60,000 cures right now, I guess, something like that. And yeah, those are all the people we've helped. And you know what? The epidemic raged on. It increased exponentially while we were helping them. Helping them has no effect on the epidemic. See, we have to understand, like, if you want to do this, this is what you got to understand. Helping people has absolutely no effect on the epidemic of anything. Okay? It's not a bad thing to do as long as you don't get enmeshed in it and end up not ending the epidemic because you were too busy helping people. You see, and see, this is the discipline. You know, the discipline of this, and that's what it is. It's the discipline because it is very, very hard when you're able to help people not to do so in a way that takes your time away from the thing you actually must do, which is end the epidemics. The global epidemic of everything. The diseases are exploding. There are 350 million reported cases of herpes. Do you know how many herpes cases that means there actually are? You don't want to know, okay? But it's scary. I mean, we got 6 billion people in this world, and we have to address the effect we have on all 6 billion of them. Nothing less than that will do. You see, you can't make the leap from the finite to the infinite. You have to start with the infinite. That is the only way you're going to get where you ultimately intend to go. See, and now that I've said that, see, because that's the discipline. The discipline is to just not help people when it's not time to be doing that, you know, and, well, I'll tell you something, you know. Like, I get email every few days. I get an email from somebody, you know, they're all different people, and they all sort of say the same thing. Does this really cure such and such, whatever it is, and are you for real, and can you help me, and please tell me how to, you know, and it's obvious to me that they didn't, these people who are emailing me didn't, you know, either they didn't actually do lesson 1, or they, while they were doing it, they didn't do it, or whatever, but they better, you know, go back and do what they're supposed to do for themselves before they ask me for anything, and I delete their email without any reply whatsoever. And see, then I have more time to do what I'm supposed to be doing. Because helping people can be an addiction like anything else. And see, but the funny thing is, you know, once you're there, and, you know, I'm sort of there at this point, you know, you can go ahead and help people. I help people all the time. Look, see this? I help people all day. I have 4 of these on my car, you know. I have one on the front window. I have one on each of the back side windows, and I have one on the rear window. So nobody ever sees my car who doesn't get helped. Now the question is, do they then use that help to help themselves? This I don't know. But this I don't want to find out, because finding out would take up too much of my time that I need to be using for other things that I'm supposed to be doing. Things, and one of those things is nothing. Now that requires a little explanation. How can we suppose to be doing nothing?